Hello again, Williamson here. I've given you guys the sort of grand tour of the bits of the server I've been basically playing in. I mean, there are other areas, but there are people's bases, and I don't want to kind of annoy them by sort of getting in their hair. But we've sort of been discussing spawners and stuff. So at some point we may be going down to the spider spawner down here and working on that. But for now, we're going to head down to the secret bunker. I still love that. Eventually I'll put a detector block there, which will just drop straight down, which will make it a lot simpler, and then a block dispenser there, which will just place, which will pulse and swallow what's not there, which is nothing, and then place a dirt block automatically. Well, it'll be up here, but it'll be hidden by where the wheat's planted. So let's drop down here. Slight sound lag there. That's just I've seen just kind of moving so fast. So this is where semi-automatic soul forged steel is going to be. So first step, which is nice and simple, is getting an automatic kiln, which basically means that there's no more cost of having to smelt stuff, because you can smelt wood into charcoal, you can smelt ores, which makes everything a lot simpler. And it's very simple to build. I've got a nice simple design which I will show you guys. So if I want it here-ish, then I'll want the bellows to be here, which means I'll want the gearbox that powers it to be here. Okay, and that just happens to be perfectly within the range, which is nice. And I can break those now because they're not going to be of any use. I'll just break all this, it'll be much simpler. Right, I need some axles, and I'm pretty sure that I processed some hemp earlier. I have some hemp on me, and given all this is running, I might as well do that. We'll see if I can reclaim that redstone as well at some point. So yeah, this is the treasure trove. This is basically all of my stuff. So not particularly a lot of iron. It's a decent amount, don't get me wrong, but when you properly want a lot of sulfur steel, it's going to become a problem. And this is kind of semi-auto soul bottling, clay making right now, and then obviously sort of semi-auto cooking and turntable, crucible. Sorry. So how much wood do I have? None. That's a good start. But I do have axles, so I can put off that problem. I suppose that's a good point. But the idea that if you put millstone eggs in a millstone, that just break them rather than having to spawn a chicken. Because at the moment, what happens is you throw an egg, and either it spawns chicken or it spawns a raw egg. As far as I know, that's my understanding of it. Might be wrong. Not really sure, but right. So that's there. But it would be nice to have a way to just straight up have raw eggs. If you don't want to have chicken everywhere. But as it is, it's quite a nice little design challenge, having to sort all that stuff out. I came over here looking for bellows, which I need to make, but I do have some tan leather, for which I need 4 pieces, and I need to put this in here. I'm constantly carrying it around, because if I die with that, that'll be annoying. But for that matter, where did I put my ender pearls? I put it over here, didn't I? Yeah. That's the problem with being as horribly disorganised with chests as I am. But that's the other thing I was doing is, yeah, I've got a saw over here. Did I just? No, I didn't. Thought one of those just vanished. Okay, so as far as I can remember, I need 2 gears for this recipe. Perfect. Yeah, once you have a saw, gears become so much easier to make. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Right, straps. Like that. That goes there. And there. And we'll stop. Bellows! Right, let's pop this down here. And because I don't really have much clay at this point, I'm going to cannibalize the basic, like, these 4-bit brick blocks and that hamachi down there, which will then, I'll just rebuild over here with the stuff to automate it. What else am I going to, I'm going to need a detector block, which means I need gold, which I haven't actually mined any of, but I did see some while I was down in my mine without a iron pickaxe, so I'm going to make one of those and get that gold, and then I will see you guys back here shortly. Alright, just heading back from the mining. People are having a little discussion about kind of the role of automation better than walls. My understanding of it is, as being discussed, is automation's important, or at least semi-automation. But getting it going is an important part. Flowerchild's been quite clever actually about how he's done it, in that you don't have to automate stuff, but by the end you're dealing with such big quantities that if you don't automate it, you're just wasting a bunch of time. So it's sort of like the kind of advanced laziness of going to a lot of effort to have to make less effort. It's that kind of traditional from... Now, as you may notice, I have 1 piece of gold ore, because, as it turns out, the piece of gold ore I found was exactly that, a piece of gold ore, which was unfortunate. So, yeah, that's just... there we go. But I have a piece of gold ore, which means I can take 6... oh, I don't actually have an anvil yet, so let's make an anvil. Big moment. Big, big moment. Ta-da! First anvil, and that can go there. Excellent. Right, and I need 6 of you. Could probably have still done this earlier, but never mind. And that goes like this. Like, I'll be right back. Need to check this. Okay, turns out the recipe is slightly different to what it used to be, but the good news is that means it's 3 times cheaper in terms of gold. Woo! So let's do this. I actually remember reading the changelog for this, but apparently then proceeded to forget about it. So that was smart. I don't have as much lapis as I would like at this point, really. It's normally a good thing to have a lot of, seeing that it's one of the few kind of really non-renewable resources. Like even gold and by extension redstone is renewable if you set up a zombie pigman farm. Although obviously that's harder in a multiplayer environment because you can't really terraform the nether without people noticing. Alright, so that goes like there, and then it's goodbyes, and then it's always the opposite of what I think it is. Oh, got it right first time. Hooray. Now what I also remembered while I was mining is actually this machine is a fair bit more complicated than I remembered. But hopefully we'll be able to deal with that. And I have a nice big section of empty wall here to stick in redstone circuitry, so let's mine that out. And let's just do this quickly. So basically the principle's really simple. That could be a problem. That could also be a problem. Okay, let's wall it up and try to ignore that for a moment. I may have to kind of use up a decent portion of this area. So the way it basically works is there is a block dispenser which I still have to make, and a piston next to a kiln which will be about there. and when triggered in the right order, which will come from over here. So yes, I'll have to flow this way. Okay, so yeah, that's why. Then the piston, the block dispenser will place the unfired whatever. The piston will push it in to the kiln. It's a sticky piston which is holding one of the brick blocks. Push it in, it will cook, and then a water flow will push it out, come along. I'm going to try something slightly different this time by cutting off the flow slightly early. Because normally I wait for the full 8 blocks to pass and then just put a block detector on the end. But detector block. But obviously, like, space isn't really a big thing here. So yeah, let's cannibalize this, and I will be back after I've collected the stuff and made the block dispenser. And we're back, and as you can see, I've cleared up what was here before. So let's just patch this up nice and quick. Deal with the rest of it later. No problem. Totally know what I'm doing here. Now, this needs to go here, and it needs to have one block underneath it to run it. And I happened to realise today that you can basically just place a lever on the side of the block, and that will turn it on and off. Which I hadn't realised, and as you can see, that's stoked. That's just working, which is nice. Okay, so how's this going to go? This is going to go. Okay, the actual kiln bottom block needs to be just over here. So let's do any dirt. No, why would I have any dirt on me? Not like it. I'd prefer to use dirt because it's nice and easy to break. You don't need much of it, but just you can just break it with your hand. It's nice and simple. There we go, and there. And it's not particularly valuable at all, so don't have to worry about recovering it. Okay, and you may notice that this is a bit of a weird angle, but there is a reason for that, which is that I want the items, when they're done cooking, to come this way, and I also want to have access to what will be here, because I need to be able to load it, and I don't need to really see what's going on here. I can look, but it's not important, really. So, cobble, there, and there. So I've now got a little spot in here where I can place water, which I will do in the short future. Just now I need a piston, which will be nice and quick to make because I already have glue. Yay, that almost looked like forward planning. It's not. And I even have wood. I had to collect that briefly while that's not right. While I was also making the block dispenser, because I was like, I'm out of wood. So got a decent amount. There we go. Sticky piston and my block dispenser. And basically, once I place these, the machine itself is basically done. It's just wiring it. I say just wiring it. That's too close. I say just wiring it in the most kind of understated way imaginable. There we go. You and you. Right. Now the one thing that can happen occasionally with this type of machine is because this. So just let me demonstrate. So what happens here is if I power this, that goes out. I put that in the wrong place again. This needs to go one across, which is the perfect moment to demonstrate. Right, so I close that and place my block dispenser here. So what will happen is this will place down, place this there so whatever it places won't just pop off. it'll place down whatever it's trying to cook there. So this will turn on. Then this will turn on and push both whatever's here and this into position, making a completed kiln. Then eventually it will finish, it will pop off, and it will trigger a blocked detector down there, which is in a chest over there. So, and it'll trigger that, and then this will turn off, this will turn off, and then this will turn on. So I need basically an ABBA switch, which can be a little bit awkward to make and a little bit awkward to make the timing right for, but they do tend to be simple and fairly small in a kind of not really kind of way. And the other advantage of this is basically the water flow, when something's in here, will just cut off, and it's never going to not be cut off because the other stuff will trigger. It'll make sense. You'll see. I'm not mad. And okay. Now I do need to make this kind of easily recoverable. Stack gold, nice. And also thanks to Burton Walls, with enough hellfire, concentrated hellfire, that could be equivalent to 63 stacks of redstone, which is what I tend to use gold for, if not for eyes. So that's nice. I tend to use redstone a fair bit because I like kind of complicated builds. That's always useful. Right, here you are. Okay, and I'm gonna need at least four repeaters, which I have exactly enough stone for. But not enough wood for, apparently. Yep. What am I doing? There we go. Like that, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and repeaters. Amazing. And a ladder would be useful because I'd usually use signs or something to stop water flow, or alternatively a moulding would be quite useful. That would work. Perfect. And in fact, seeing as we're using these, why not go for wait, that's deciding this is a moulding. There we go. Okay. And I'd like the bucket of water. Bucket. Anywhere, please. I don't have a bucket. I'm guessing I probably melted that down at some point. Another nice thing about the anvil, which I'm probably not going to use too much here, is you can place molds on them, which are made of clay, and that will save, which means you can basically just shift click everything into a predetermined shape in the anvil. So I could just have it up here, that'd work, but then I don't have room for the circuitry. Or I could make it even smaller and get my cobble here. Actually, I'd be better off using a stone siding here just to be guarantee it won't catch fire. Which I need clean stone for, which I don't have any of, but I do have coal. Or I could use another feature of the crucible. It makes clean stone, cobble. That's useful. But possibly not fast enough right here right now, but that will all process. I only need 4. And people are probably yelling at me, why are you only using 1 per thing? It's just because I haven't had time to process all of my netherrack yet. I've ground it, but I'd rather make an automatic bottler before I just stick it all in. and then eventually I'll just be able to just have a larger area here. That'll be a bit faster, but that is planned. Right. How's this going? Yes, this is going faster. Not really that surprising. There we go. Stone sidings. Right then. So I'm going to place... Okay, so that'll be locked, so... I've got anything here that's gonna get destroyed. So what? No. Unless... Nope, we're all good. That's not... Okay, we're all good, we're all good. Possibly that lever. Or... I could just... That works too. Hooray! Right, I'm hoping this will do what I expect it to. Doesn't, might be a problem. But yes, there'll just be collection there. So, I can break you. Place this here. And then eventually put something. Oh, but hoppers catch fire. Hoppers do catch fire. I know this because I've had trouble with that before. And I just let all that. Oh dear. Then I do have that. Okay. Let's just rethink. And I think I'm probably gonna just stop recording here briefly. What I've probably made will be cut into 2 episodes, I should think. Just because I'm not sure how much I can upload in one video, so I'll cut recording here and be back with you guys in just a sec.